Hello, I'm Nick. Welcome back. If you watched my sketchbook tours or the shorts that I post here, you probably already saw those guys. They are my OCs and the main characters for a webcomic that I have a dream of making in the future. And I really want to present them and share them with you all, even though their history is not completed yet. So I decided to start a series of 5 videos talking about my silly guys and a little bit of their histories. And while I'm at it, I'll be playing with their designs to try to lead to something that I'm a little sort of satisfied with, even if it's not their final designs. So if you're interested in listening me ramble about my children's, follow along with me. For this first video, I decided to start by presenting Charlie, since he's one of the most developed characters and I'm quite excited to talk about him. Anyway, before I actually start talking about Charlie himself, let me present you all to the settings of this history. Please keep in mind that nothing that I'm saying here is set in stone. I'm still in the early development of everything and stuff might change drastically when I'm actually to do the comic. But regardless, the histories take place in a really small town in a island quite separated from the continent. I kind of wanted to have some strong connection to fishes, something like fishing has their main economic activity or something along those lines. I think it's important to note that I'm not basing it on any real place or country. The town is basically run over by 3 powerful and rich families that impose a lot of influence and are the higher elites of the place, being them the Johnsons, the family of the Major, the Benedictions, the family of the Priester, and the Elliots, a family that runs a big fishing company that basically keeps the economy running for the town, as well as providing the majority of the food for the citizens. I will probably be talking more in depth about the other families on other video, probably on Andy's one. But anyway, that's where our boy comes in. Charlie Elliot is the only child of the Elliots, and is expected to be the one to keep the family's business ongoing in the future. He grew up under a lot of pressure, not only to be a good heir for the company, but also because everyone in the town viewed his family as the perfect ideal family, and his mother will do everything on her power to keep that image. Charlie has been forced to act like the perfect idealized daughter since he was really young. And yes, daughter, because Charlie is a trans man. He already felt like there was something going on when he was younger, but never really put thought into it, because his mother wouldn't even let him choose his favorite color. He didn't have the opportunity to figure out what he likes, let alone who he was. That was until he was sent to the capital in the continent to course his high school in a girls-only internal school. He finally had the chance of making new friends and discovering new things that he didn't know before. With the help and support from the friends he made, he was able to figure himself out and even start dipping his toes in a slight transition. He basically just cut his hair and started wearing slightly less feminine clothes, but he was quite happy with it, at least as much as he could have been. The start of the actual webcomic would be the moment that the rumors of Charlie being transgender got to his mother in the island, and she did not get happy with it. She forced him to come back to the island where she could keep an eye on him and make sure that he won't ruin the family name with his bullshit. And that's all I really had to share story-wise about him. I'm a bit scared that I went in a bit too much detail, but anyway, let's talk a bit about Charlie himself. Charlie is a pretty quiet person. He tries his best to not call attention to himself and really prefers to be in a quiet place reading a book or drawing in his sketchbook. He can come out as a bit of a smarty two shoes, always getting at good grades and never get in trouble. Is usually the voice of the reason, the responsible one that keeps the others on track, and tends to be honest with people. But despite of what you may think, he's actually a really friendly person, just introvert. He really likes animals, especially reptiles. He has a pet snake that I'm also showing on this video. It still doesn't have a name and quite honest, not even a defined sex yet, but I wanted to finish up his design on this video, so... Anyway, Charlie really likes his little baby. He got it when he was about 11 or so because he really wanted the pet, but his mother really hates fuzzy animals. And since then, he ended up getting really interested into the reptiles hobby and wants to get more animals on the future. Okay, now that you know a little bit more about Charlie, let's finally talk about his look. His whole design is a bit tricky to me because I try to be in a middle ground of making it believable that others seen him as a girl without making him straight up look like a girl. I don't know if I explained this well, but I mean like I don't want people to misgender him, you know? But as I said, he was able to do a little bit of a quote-unquote transition in his internal school, so that's why he could cut his hair this way. It's actually because his hair has been this way for a longest time and I'm attached to it. For his outfit, I leaned a lot into the dark academia aesthetic and took heavy inspiration from this one outfit of Pinterest. I think the style really suits him. It's elegant without being too exaggerated and it matches his nerdy vibe. He does wear a skirt, probably obligated by his mother on a tentative to force feminilization onto him. So he uses a legging underneath to lessen his discomfort, at least to some degree. Talking a bit about his color scheme, it was relatively simple. I already had his skin and hair color, so the work was majority figuring out his outfit. I have an association with pink for him because it has been his outfit color for a long time, so I wanted to implement this on this palette. For that, I used a darkish desaturated pink, so it didn't clash with his personality, and I think it looks really nice on him. From that, I just implemented some blacks and off-whites to balance off everything, and that was basically it. Pretty straightforward. It might need some adjustments on the future, but I'm happy with it for now. And I think this is all I have to say about Charlie, so I hope you liked hearing about my boy. If you want to hear more about my characters and learn more about their history, please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the future videos of this series. And if you want to see more art from me, you can check out my other socials on the description. Thank you so much for listening. Leave a like, comment, share and subscribe. Bye bye!